Hello.
Hello, Ruth. How are you?
Hello, Madison. I miss your face.
I know.
You're
I was
so
like
pretty.
squealing. You're so pretty. I was squealing when I saw you. So
Ah.
I know the listeners didn't get to hear it, but there were tears shed.
They also did get to hear me complain about my pimple that is coming up from kissing a boy with a beard.
Never kiss me. It's facial hair is so sexy. I'm sure you can agree.
Mhm.
And that could be an episode in itself.
Oh.
We could discuss all of but men, please take care of your face. Take care of your wash your face so it's not super oily all the time.
Yes. And then don't come lay on my face when you have oil in your face.
It breaks us out. I've been there so many times and I feel your pain. So I'm sorry.
Okay. So let's jump into this first topic of the night. Forcing relationships.
Yeah.
I think we've all been there.
Mm-hmm.
We've all either forced a relationship or maybe been a part of the other side where you didn't recognize that somebody was forced. I don't know. There's just so many aspects to this. Like, I think that especially in the dating world, like if one person likes another person a lot more, they can try a lot of different tactics to try to make it something that it might just not be.
Totally. There's so many conditions that we could get into because I think about and I kind of want to ask you first, but just like so many different tactics is the perfect word. Like I've had people play it cool where that kind of forces you, right? They're like playing the games, right? They're like, oh, I'm not really interested playing cat and mouse, and that makes you like to date you.
Why is that? Why is it when there's this elusiveness, it's like, oh, now I want it so much
I know.
more.
I wish our brains were rewired. And I think it happens for both sexes, and I think all gender identities and sexual orientations. Obviously, like if your partner is aloof a little, you might be a little more turned down. Like, oh, I need to get them. They're a prize to be won. Right. Right.
But do you think like if in that, when that's like almost like what's the word I'm looking for? Like it's not a natural feeling you're having. It's almost something that's like being generated within you because of the elusiveness. Does that last after you've won or something?
It doesn't. And not in my opinion.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
I've gone through it multiple times, enough times that I know at this point, like there have been people that it's like innate. Like I want them bad. I'm going to get them with every power of my will. I will try and get them. But then there's people that like I have that attraction to, but I know they're so bad for me, so bad for me, and I'm like, oh, but I just don't want them.
Yeah,
like, you just do it. But then always with the people that I know are bad for me, once I get them, it's like it's kind of like, oh, okay.
now.
I got myself into this mess. I got myself, and then. But I think on the flip side of the coin, I've definitely been in like a relationship where I was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm just going to try my hardest to not like be anyone else or just try my hardest to show my effort and show up and pursue this relationship. And then it's worked out before where it's like, oh, okay, this was supposed to be, but it shouldn't, there's a happy medium there. It shouldn't feel forced. I feel like it shouldn't feel like you're trying to get a square peg in a round hole.
Well, I think what you said is the biggest point. I think the biggest factor forcing a relationship that's going to end to the demise is shifting who you are to try to pretend to be something you're not, to make that relationship something that it's not.
1000%. I was so eloquent and just like to the point, because I think a lot of us want to be that person for, especially like you're saying, and I'd love to get your opinion, but if you're falling for someone and you're like, and it's not right in so many ways, and right is, but in the sense of like, you're not compatible. Your lifestyles are not compatible. Your dating habits are not compatible, but you really like them. You might want to mold yourself and lie to yourself and be like, you know what? Like I've done it before where I was like dating someone that wasn't really interested in necessarily introducing me to their family, or not like that specifically, but going to the line of a relationship that I'd like to be at, like the next step. They were kind of like dipping their toes. And I was like, I can deal with this. I can totally deal with this. But then I was lying to myself,
Yeah.
What about yourself?
I think I've done this probably more times than I'd like to admit. Not so much shifting myself, but definitely being like, all right, I'm gonna wait this out because I'm gonna win. This is gonna happen. And especially such a waste of time in the end because it's just like literally, it doesn't align with who you want long term for a partner or who you want to be long term as a partner.
Yeah. And I think that speaks to the aspect, this is kind of a tangent, but speaking to like knowing thyself. And if you know that that's not what you want, but you're trying to wait it out to like prove it to yourself that you can get that person or prove it to get them back. Like I've been in that situation too, where I'm like, fuck that guy. He made me like him so bad. And then it's like, well, fuck it. I'm going to make him like me.
Yeah.
And
Well, I
it's
think
never
also we
worth
had
it.
this conversation like a while back where it was like, why are we so attracted to people that maybe aren't giving us the attention that we want? And then not to sound like arrogant anyway, but we work really hard in our careers, we work really hard in life and like our friendships that you're so used to like getting what you want that when it isn't handed back to you, you're like,
What?
"Go away."
This is actually hilarious that you bring this up, Ruth, because when before this podcast was a thing and we were just talking about ideas of what
Yeah.
to talk about in the podcast, both me and you brought up a specific individual that we were pursuing at the time, and we were both like, or like mildly pursuing, but we both were like, "Oh, we're really into these guys, but they're not liking us."
Oh.
Both have now come back and liked us and tried to pursue us. And at
Oh my god, you're so right.
you were like, I don't know. It's like, because I'm not going to get too into details, but you were like, there's a lot invested in this. Like, I don't think it's ever going to work. And he's really acting not interested. And then I had a guy that like I slid into the DMs and he was like,
Oh
hey.
my god,
And then
full circle.
he was like, okay. And I was like, oh, fuck. Okay. Maybe he's not interested in me. That's so weird. And we had that, we
That is
laughed.
so funny. I remember having this conversation. I remember driving in my car and I had you on speaker and we were having this conversation. That is so funny.
And now they're both two men that are definitely pursuing us right now.
That's hilarious.
I'm just saying. So
Ladies, lesson is wait that shit out.
no, please. Oh my God. Don't take that as a lesson. But
No.
sometimes it works. Obviously, like Ruth is kissing on a gorgeous man. But is it the best for us? And I think that's what we always talk about. I've later learned with that specific individual, not the best for me.
Yeah.
I saw this delicious, gorgeous man, and my little mind pieced together, he does this. Oh my God, we're compatible in this. Oh, we would totally do well dating.
Yeah.
After I got into like longer than a 10-minute conversation with the individual, I was like, maybe not. Maybe not. But I still wanted to kind of force it for some time because I'm attracted to certain qualities of that human. And I was just like, yeah, I really like him for this and this and this. So like I could probably ignore this and this.
Yeah.
Girlfriend, at least not for me right now.
No, and I get that. I think that, and that's what it is too. It's coming up with those factors of what you can accept and what you can't. And you're right, there is that thin line, and it differs for each person. Like it really is like deciding what works for you and what you're willing to accept
Yeah,
long term.
totally.
Yeah.
Now I have a question for you because I love this, that what you brought up. Do you think that you've ever been forced into a relationship?
Absolutely. By like no questions at all, for sure. And the problem is like I know I'm a nice person, and so like I will, if somebody emotes emotion to me, it is so hard for me not to be like, oh, okay, okay. And that has led me into either stay in relationships longer than I should or get into relationships that I should not. And it is really like I have a problem where I'm like, I don't want anybody to not like me. And so then like if I feel like I'm hurting somebody's feelings, I will do anything against my better judgment to make sure that they feel okay.
Oh, I know. And why? Why do we do that?
I don't know.
Why do we do that?
Literally.
It sacrifices your happiness because, like,
Yeah.
as your friend, and we've had this conversation as of late and before,
Yeah.
where it's like, girl, you got all that you need. Like, you
Yeah.
get whatever you want coming to you. Like, I know we just made that joke, like, we get everything we want. And if we work hard enough and if we, put our mind to it, we are just those kind of individuals.
Yeah.
And I know that comes with a lot of luck and good karma and just like trying to be open to the universe. But I would say, like, genuinely, I know that you could get whatever man that you sought after, right? So, like, as a third party, I'm like, Ruth, just like ask for what you want and you'll get it. Like, and that's so easier said than done.
It is.
Honestly.
When
And
emotions get involved, for sure.
yeah. And it like breaks my heart that you would like sacrifice your happiness for others, but it's completely relatable. And I totally understand where, like,
What about you? Have you been forced into a relationship?
I've been forced into dating for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I don't think I've ever been forced into an act. Maybe in 8th grade.
That's acceptable. I'm too old for this shit.
I remember in 8th grade. No. It's not like that. I didn't mean it like that. I was saying,
I know. I was joking on myself.
I just don't want you to think I'm coming for you. Like, genuinely, I remember, I can like name drop his name because his name is so funny. Adam Kakiki. Like, what a great name.
That's a great name.
Adam Kakiki. Really cute. And like, I was flirting with him at like our end of the year 8th grade party.
Yeah.
And then he like forced the girlfriend title on me. And again, I was just like so flattered, even though I didn't like him. Like, I thought he was cute and I was like flirting with him, but I didn't like him.
Yeah.
But he really liked me and was like, oh, I want you to be my girlfriend. And I was like, this is so exciting. Okay. And I remember like not even 2 days or like a day later, I like sheepishly texted him and was like, I can't be your girlfriend.
Oh, Adam Kakiki, we're sorry.
Sorry, Adam Kakiki. I hope you're doing well, sir.
Right.
Don't talk to him. But yeah, it's just so funny to me. Like, definitely that, and I know we're going to talk about bad dates here soon. There's a bad date off the top of my head that I was 1000% forced into. Like, the man forced a date on me, and I know that sounds like ridiculous. And if I heard that from someone else, I'd be like, bitch.
No, I get that. No, for sure. Yeah.
Into a date, and I'm like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. So yeah, that, but I think more often than not, I've tried to convince myself it's not necessarily that they forced me, but they were so lovely and adorable, and I could
almost like guilted into it. It's like maybe force is the wrong word. It's the guilt that maybe they don't even mean to do it. Maybe it is really just like how they feel and the emotion, and then it's just like the niceness in us, or the guilt driven people pleaser, like that wants to just
And I think both you and I have related on this before. Like, I am able to objectively identify them as a capable partner.
Yeah.
So I'm like, they could be a good partner.
Yeah.
Not for me necessarily, but for that part. And I'm like, they like me. They're really sweet. They treat me nice. Why not it feels selfish to not give them a shot.
Yeah.
But when you really separate yourself from it, you're like, if I was that person and if someone was giving me a shot, I'd rather them be like, it's not here, dude. Like, it's just not here. Yeah. Even though, you'd want to fight for that shot, and they have every right to be like, please give me a shot. And you have every right to be like, no, or yes. But I think I always just assume they want the shot, when I think more people would want you to be like on fire for them as well.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely. That's another conversation I'd love to have with you. Do you think that relationships ever have people that are equally on fire for each other? Or is there always one?
I know. We've talked about love, like a partner loving more than another. And I do think so. I think there's different fire in different ways. Like, I think like some partners might be way more physically attracted to one partner than the other, when one partner could be like, oh God, the way they just clean the dishes after like, I think there is different fires that are lit up in people, and I think that speaks to love languages too, because they're constantly catering to your love language. One partner might be like, yes, baby. And then the next might be like, oh, I just wish they gave me more affection in this way, but I'm so attracted to them that it doesn't matter.
Me and my ex had a conversation the other day, who and he was like, yeah, when we were together, I would like wash the clothes, do the laundry, do this, do that, and you'd come home and be like, why don't you ever say you love me? I'm like, well, level up.
Well, just do it all.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but it's funny, that speaks to your love language.
No, it totally is. I'm such a I'm a words of affirmation by far. Like I literally I need to hear it. I need to hear you tell me.
Yeah. And I that's my top one too. It's like quality time and words of affirmation. But even like, yeah, I think a lot of people assume words of affirmation is constantly being showered in like compliments.
No.
Like, oh, you're gorgeous, blah, blah. And it's not that. Like, I'd rather, if I hear you say you love me every day in like a genuine tone, I'm gonna be like,
it's the genuineness too. Like if I feel that from you every day, I'm like, I'm not going anywhere.
You're getting laid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, no, I'm kidding, not really, but it's true. But it's one of those things. Like, I think it's, yeah, that's my version of words of affirmation, and it seems like it's obviously yours too. Your ex was like, I did all of these acts of service for you, and you're like, bitch, did I say I wanted I love you.
Like, I know, yeah.
And that's fair. That's fair. I think you have.
I mean, we're all different. We all view things differently, and have different needs. And we got way off topic, but
we did. But I kind of love it. I love how we're. But to wrap it up, what's your advice? Because I take your advice all the time with dating, because you're a guru. But what would you say is the advice for the kids at home for avoiding being forced into a relationship, or forcing yourself, like giving yourself that pep talk of like,
yeah, I think it's, if you're being what you feel like forced into a relationship, I think you have to consider your long-term effects of it. And even though it might feel good in the moment to make somebody else feel good, in the long run, it will eventually end regardless. And that's going to be more painful in the end than it is if you just kind of cut it off at the source. And then if you're changing to try to force a relationship, same advice. It might make you feel good in the moment if you get that win in the moment, but in the long run, it's going to be a more painful ending.
Absolutely. Oscar worthy. Because when you think about it,
yeah,
if you're not able to be your complete self with that person, or be honest about your wants and needs with that person, you're not going to be able to be a good partner either. Like, even if you're giving them their cookie cutter what they want, you're still not going to be 100% you. So you're not going to be a good partner, like, at the end of it. Absolutely. So yeah, we love you guys. Yeah. Take care of yourselves out there. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Hey everybody, I'm Adam Khalil. Thank you so much for listening to this video. I definitely want you to subscribe to the channel if you want to hear more content like this. But if this content had any value to you, click the like button as well.